There's a lot of brain health news this week, Derek. I don't know if you keep abreast of these stories or not. Derek Lee is here with BrainHealthFormulas.com from Minden. I'm John Potter, broadcasting live here in Reno. All right, Derek, what do you think of these? I'm just going to read you the headlines, okay?
Okay.
Scientists reveal a surprising link between ibuprofen and brain health.
Possibly.
Is it a good link, I wonder, or
There can be benefits.
what's your opinion on ibuprofen?
I know there's a lot of negativity about ibuprofen. I know for myself, if I get a headache, ibuprofen reduces the headache within 30 to 45 minutes. That's the way it's always been for me. But recently, Dragon's Blood does the very same thing.
Your product.
Yeah.
Well, ibuprofen is the one that doesn't harm the liver. Is that right? The acetaminophen does, I believe.
There's a lot of controversy with all of that. Certain people have severe negative reactions, and certain people do not.
Okay. Let me see here. New AI tool predicts brain decline years before symptoms appear and could help fight dementia. That AI, really. I mean, do you use it in any way?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't use it at all.
I don't. I think it's a terrible thing. It's going to make for a lot of lazy reporters. Who, listen, the thing can write a great story.
But here's the thing about AI. AI is only as smart as the information.
Well, it already has the information.
It doesn't. It doesn't learn necessarily. It scans for data. So
Right.
it can only be as smart as the smartest person.
Well, that's pretty smart, though, isn't it?
Depends on the field.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
Is if you can edit the stuff AI does,
Okay.
then AI is not as smart as the human.
I thought you go on AI, say that I want to fake write a story, and give AI a topic, and AI is going to find what. Doesn't AI scout out the best information?
It scans it and it will repopulate the information.
Okay.
But you have to be smart enough to be able to edit what the AI does. If you
Can
rely,
I tell AI to edit it?
no, because it doesn't know. It doesn't know what's wrong. It doesn't know what's inaccurate information. You have to be smarter than AI to edit AI.
Interesting. I never looked at it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. One more headline. Dig into your smartphone. See what happens to your brain after 3 days of digital detox. Apparently, it's pretty dramatic.
It is. I've intentionally forgot my phones at work or at home before, and it's disturbing how you feel by the end of the day. You actually feel calmer and more peaceful just within 12 hours.
Well, I'll tell you what, your products, I just feel great. I really do. You know what
happy.
I find? I used to really like over prep this talk show, and now I just bring my brain with me and spout off, which is bound to get me in trouble. But no, listen, it means less work at home and more coming in and converse naturally and having the brain to do it. You have a new product.
Yes.
This sounds very intimidating. It's called Dragon Code.
Yes. I'm very excited about this one.
Tell me all about it.
So this formula came about. I was reminded that I actually started this formula about 10 years ago, and I had forgotten all about it because I knew there was a type of source code within our genetic structure to enable a repair mechanism. And so it was a couple weeks ago where felt sick, like really congested, and I was peeling a tangerine, and all of a sudden all this information started flooding in about how to generate this new formula that can actually activate the mRNA and RNA repair mechanism, which is the epigenetics. And this is what pharmaceuticals are targeting with vaccines now, is the mRNA capacity. And this formula started coming into me, and I just started putting the information together and started extracting data to try to analyze to put this formula together. And the challenging thing for me is not necessarily building a formula, understanding the premise of the formula. It's being able to transform the information, understanding the formula, and then being able to communicate it is the challenging part for me, rather than building the formula. Building the formula is easy. Communicating how the formula works has been the challenge. And so it took me 2 days to write the information. It took me less than 24 hours to build the formula.
Well, the slogan with Dragon Code is unlocking potential abilities of the brain. And I've heard this before. The brain, we're only using, what, 10% of it?
Yeah.
That's what I was told. And somebody who was kind of an expert years ago told me this. He says, you have no idea what is possible with the brain if we use more of it. So how does this unlock those abilities of the brain, this Dragon Code?
So what this does, this taps into all the stuff traditional Chinese medicine has gone into for thousands of years. It also adapts all the Ayurvedic practices that also goes back thousands of years of information. And what we did is we generate a hybrid between the two, and so it has to do with the energy. A lot of traditional Chinese medicine has to do with the yin and yang, the flow of energy in and out. And so with Chinese medicine typically functions from, if you're sick, typically has to do with heat. So Chinese medicine brings coolness in, and so that coolness can expel the heat and generate a rebalancing of the human. Ayurvedic comes from the principle of balancing energy, balancing the chakras of the human. And so what this formula does is it balances both of those at the same time, and especially since we incorporate the amino acid complex to go along with it, then that's one thing Ayurvedic practices and traditional Chinese medicine have never been able to do, is what the amino acid complex does, is which activates the brain. So we can activate the brain and apply these traditional 1,000-year-old practices, then we can actually generate a formula that has never been experienced before.
You're not a pharma guy. What first got you into Chinese medicine?
The information about herbology there is so much information about what these herbs and fruit extracts do. It is mind-blowing. And so I studied the research on it. I mean, they go into so much depth about.
What was your first experience with like a Chinese herb that really shook you?
To me, the information is what grasped my attention more so than anything. It's not so much the effects. It's the amount of information, the amount of data that's provided with each individual ingredient. That's what intrigued me more than anything.
How is Dragon Code at brainhealthformulas.com? That's where you get it, folks. How is Dragon Code different from your Dragon Blood capsules?
Dragon's Blood is actually in this formula.
Okay.
And so Dragon's Blood is more of an anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, works on the intestinal tract, and improves the vascular system. What this does is this enables the brain to function more efficiently. So just an example, I struggled to understand how to communicate this formula. And it took me almost a week of trying to formulate how to write this in my mind, because I didn't know how to. And so what happened was yesterday, 2 days ago, I just sat down at the computer and just started typing. And next thing I knew, I was done writing the entire thing without knowing how to start. And so in the principle of unlocking the potential of the brain, it surprised me because I didn't know how to write this. And I sat down and just started writing. And next thing I knew, it was done. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is brilliant.
I had the same exact thing happen to me recently.
That's awesome, John.
Well, I've been on your stuff for what, a year now?
Yeah.
A little over a year. Your stuff. I'm not a scientist. That's what I call it. But the Restore and the Gland Ho and the Intercell. Okay, I guess those are my favorites. But yeah, I sit down. Oh, I really don't want to write this. I don't want to do this. And bam, once I start, I got a book there.
It's amazing.
It is. brainhealthformulas.com. This is a little different today because we're video.
Yeah,
these
we're videoing it.
right?
We're gonna put this on my YouTube channel some point in time in the next couple of days, just so you guys can see what John and I go through. And so you'll have the full the full video version of this interview.
All right. I didn't know it was starting today, so
Starting today.
well, I would have brought my makeup.
Oh, John, you look great all the time. You don't need
My
makeup.
old dusty Channel 2 makeup. All right, Derek Lee is here, 884-9910 if you have questions about just basic brain health or his products, which are found at brainhealthformulas.com. 884-9910, you can text it too. Hello? 884-9910, reading some texts here. Hey John, can you ask Derek if he has anything for gut health for skinny people? I do not need to lose weight. My weight has been on the decline for the last 20 years. Someday I'll be an old man with no butt, and I'll have to wear suspenders just to keep my pants up. Does he have anything for healthy weight gain? Interesting issue.
Yeah. So what I would recommend would be our gut health formula utilizing Akkermansia. That's going to enable the intestinal tract to function more efficiently and to absorb nutrients more efficiently. It's arguably the more nutrients we can absorb, the healthier we can be, and we might not be able to, we can stabilize your weight. Whether you gain weight or not is going to be based on your diet. But if we can improve the nutrient absorption, that also would enable you to gain more nutrients and hopefully at least stabilize your weight and maybe potentially even improve your weight.
See, that's a more thoughtful answer to me going, a Grand Sierra Resort buffet, sir. That's what I was going to say. So,
yeah.
What a wonderful problem to have. I would love to go to that buffet and the others and everything. I am such a buffet guy. But I think when you reach a certain age, the metabolism winds down and it starts to stay there. And
you know that I just had a thought. For the guy who cannot, for the individual who cannot gain weight, it's possible you may have developed and this I'm just saying this as a generalized term. Some people who have celiac disease or a wheat allergy. A wheat allergy can precipitate not being able to gain weight. And I know a lot of people, even doctors themselves, who have been through all the gastroenterologists, all kinds of stuff like that, they discount that having a wheat allergy can actually be the factor in not being able to gain weight or actually stabilize their weight. And so inevitably, having a wheat allergy might actually be the cause of the declining weight. Okay. Just saying this, that's just a possibility. I don't know any details about the individual who asked that question, but based on my theory, we can actually develop an allergen to any food at any point in time in our life.
Really?
It's not set in stone. It is never set in stone. We can develop it at any point in time in our life.
It's so alarming. There's so much going on in our bodies that we just don't know.
No idea. Yeah.
Celiac disease and oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it certainly is. Okay, so Dragon Code, your newest product, is on the website?
It is.
All right, unlocking potential abilities of the brain. And different from Dragon Blood, how do people decide which product of yours to take? There's such a wide assortment of what you have there, starting with your first product, Restore.
So can I tell you a quick story?
Does your website kind of give clues? I mean, if
kind
somebody
of.
has an issue?
This is kind of the way, this is why I answer all phone calls and respond to emails, is to provide information like that and to help direct people. This is also why we do the bundles, to help define how a grouping of individual products work to have an end result. We have some interesting information and update for chronic kidney disease people. So my partner, she actually has had her creatinine levels as from what I recall, as high as 2.4. And for those people who have kidney issues, creatinine levels, I believe the normal range is 0.8 to 1.1. And so
what is that?
It's a test.
And by the way, I always thought it was creatine.
Well, creatine is different than creatinine. That's an enzyme that has to do with, that's how the medical and science looks at function of the kidney. And if your creatinine level gets too high and stays too high for too long, you end up on dialysis 1 to 3 or every day in order to improve how your kidneys function. So then you end up using blood work to or dialysis in order to keep your kidneys functioning properly. It's a filtration system because your kidneys aren't working properly. So my partner, she's had her creatinine levels up to 2.4, high as 1.1. I believe it's anytime your creatinine levels get to like 2.0, 2.4, 2.8, you're classified as stage 4 kidney disease. And so we've been able, with just her taking Restore, we've been able to stabilize her creatinine levels at 1.5 to 1.8. And so, but they've been pretty stable there.
Is this something that you should ask your doctor to check?
It's always checked on almost every single standard metabolic panel. It's creatinine and BUN,
okay.
yeah.
All right, good.
So what I'm doing is kind of giving some backstory and going forward to where she's at now.
Mm-hmm.
She just got it. So she's been taking Intercell and the balancer, which dropped her creatinine levels down to 1.3, which is huge for her. And so she had the Dragon code in. In the last couple of weeks, she just had labs done a couple days ago. Her creatinine levels have finally gotten into normal range for the first time in 30 years. Her creatinine numbers are in normal range. Her BUN numbers, which is also a kidney test for blood work, her BUN number is also in normal range. So arguably, she has just demonstrated that chronic kidney disease is actually reversible.
Saving kidneys wherever he goes. There he is, Derek Lee, BrainHealthFormulas.com. How many products do you have now?
Oh, a lot. All of them.
I think I asked you that and you weren't sure.
I'm not sure.
You're just always in that lab, aren't you?
Cracking away. Got to keep developing things.
Trying to find new things. Let me just check some of the texts here. Good morning. Does Derek have anything that helps with autistics? My adult son suffers from anxiety, sleep issues, and obesity. Thank you.
Yes. Give me a call, 775-634-7789. Give me a couple hours after the show and give me a call and I can talk to you about that. But yes, I do believe that we can improve a lot of the symptoms with autism.
Well, God bless you.
Yes, dragon's blood. Dragon's blood can reduce inflammation in the brain specifically. And just being able to reduce the pressure or the inflammation can reduce headaches as well.
Inflammation is the big enemy, isn't it?
It is is the pain more so. I think it's, well, inflammation result is when we have inflammation, that we experience that as pain. So yes, it is a big issue because when we're in pain, we tend to not do things as appropriately as we want to. And so it becomes a snowball effect of doing things that might not be the best for us because our body and brains aren't functioning properly.
884, your time is up. Oh my goodness, look at this. Very involved conversation, folks. Find out more or buy more. The capsules are available at BrainHealthFormulas.com. And Derek, what's your personal number again?
775-634-7789. If anyone has any questions at all, please give me a call. And we'll also be releasing this YouTube video of our conversation today, John, at Brain Health Formulas on YouTube or through my website.
All right. Awesome, Derek. Have a great day.
Thanks, John.